I decided to at least put out an introduction video for you all. Since I've lived in Korea for so long, I've made friends from all around the world. And then I took a break. I was just like, let me not think about anything. Let me just get out of the city, move to the countryside, and just
and continue and just uplift each other.
That means don't give up. It's true. We should stop breaking each other down. Yeah, the comment sections that I read, also not reading comments is self-care, but I just see how, you know, us as Black people, how we eat each other alive as well.
Other people as well. It's not easy. Some people are going to think, why should I?
Yeah, why should I?
It's
true.
For me lately.
I was off key. Sorry.
Sorry to break
What have you done with me? What have you done for? What have you done for?
I think because I'm not like an apologist. I'm
not
like a, you know, everybody's wonderful, because that's naive. Not everyone's wonderful.
Because I've met people. I met some people. I met some lovely people, and I met some not so lovely people. I met some people.
To where that energy doesn't, you know.
Withstand it.
Yes, we make that fortress. The problem with that, if you see historically, is when we do that, somebody comes and breaks it.
Right.
So I think the question also is like, how do we fortify in a way that
how do we reconnect?
You know, because if you look at
and
like,
build a community, a strong community.
It was burned to the ground. It was bombed. Like
but,
physically, they come in.
Our communities have been terrorized.
So
generational trauma.
What do you think of the entertainment industry?
It's really hard.
In Korea? Do you see a lot of Black people in it, or well, maybe not a lot?
Nope.
Do you see any?
I think.
No,
it's very
not.
obvious how the entertainment industry works.
There are no famous Black actresses in Korea. If there are famous Black people in Korea, they're usually males.
If you do see a person of color, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, 98% of the time, they're male.
Okay.
So actually, if I were to be in a drama or, you know, cast in something.
Although I'm starting to see more extras. And then there are girls who are doing like K-pop music videos.
And we're talking in ratio. Like, we're not like...
It's true. A lot of times people are like, oh, look, you know, it's the equivalent of people like, oh, Obama was president out of 45.
And I was just like, how many shows come on TV a day?
Like,
can we do some?
So do you want to be in like in dramas and stuff like that here? Like, what's your ambition for the next like few years?
I still get excited about it, even when, you know, the reactions are so pure, actually.
Is for the stage. I enjoy musical theater.
It's true.
So
I've gotten to the point.
I want to get my master's in performance.
In Korea?
I'm deciding. Okay. Because the thing is, Korea is comfortable, but it's too comfortable.
It's true.
You know, after a while, you become complacent.
You can become complacent living in Korea. Life can be really hard in Korea, but it's also very convenient, and you get used to it.
Been here for 7 years now, and so I have to put everything in front of me, and I have to make my pros and cons list.
Yeah.
Do I stay? Do I go?
Adulting.
You know what's going to happen.
And then COVID hit.
Know, right? You may book your plane ticket, and then you get a phone call like, oh, can you be in this movie? And you're like, and your life changes. Like,
it's
you
true.
Never know. You make
never
the plans,
know.
and then you remain
flexible.
So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm making the plans, but remain.
I can predict what I'm about to say.
But also, you know, despite everything I'm saying, I too want to change it. You know, I too want to be like, oh, hey, you know, we're capable of doing this. You know. And so I
열심히 공부했어.
I just realized that. When I talk to Koreans about my dream to work in entertainment in Korea, they're like, yeah, do it. Like,
it's true. I've actually gotten a lot of positive reinforcement, positive encouragement. Okay, English. I've gotten a lot of encouragement to pursue my dreams of working in entertainment in Korea, actually. But I think the thing is, you have to understand that those people aren't the ones making decisions. You know, they're not the ones in the casting room.
what, like, are you married? How old are you? Da, 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 da.
And then
just
they
like,
could just be being nice to me also.
Why?
I'll try not to
I mean, of
think
course I
that
knew
way
before
though.
I got here. Like, that's stuff you learn before you get here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, what
There's
is
a lot of stuff, yeah, there are a lot of stuff people go through and they Pikachu face, but it's just like a simple search would have shown you that like that's common. Do your research.
get out. But with that being said, after a while, I started learning Korean, and I would have conversations
did.
before that. I'd be
It's true. I would catch them at the door. I would catch them at the door.
just like, no, I'm from America.
I did. I learned Korean
Great
to catch
guess,
them at the
though.
door.
And then I was like,
Reminds
oh,
me.
you
Oh
know,
my gosh.
they're like, oh, are you married? I was like, oh no, are you married?
Wait, let me
And they're
pause
like,
this.
"Oh,
Let me
yeah, of
pause
course."
this. There's. I'm sorry, but there was. It's not actually funny. Should I tell this story? So I was in Busan with some friends, and Busan's in the south, right? So we were in this elevator, and this ajushi is like an older guy. So this older guy walks in, and he's like, Jamaica. Jamaica? And he just looks so happy and proud of himself. Jamaica? And my friend was just like, no. I think all of us were from America. And I was in tears. He was just like, Jamaica? It made his day. Oh, whew, it was hilarious. Okay, let me continue. Yeah, so it's very interesting how all of the conversations I had with taxi drivers have literally changed over time. They used to very much be like, oh, when you're getting married, when you're doing this and that and this. And then when I caught them at the door, I was just like, 혹시 아저씨 꿈이 뭐였어요? Or what was your dream? And they were just like, nobody's asked me that before. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, my Korean is really bad. But if you talk to me, I can try to understand it. 꿈이, 이거는, I made that sentence wrong. 꿈이 뭐였었어요? 뭐였을까? 과거였잖아. 됐어. Anyway, after a while, I did stop asking. What I would do is just get in the taxi and put my headphones in because their stories were so sad. And I was just like, oh, why did I set myself up for this sadness? So yeah, eventually I just stopped asking. And I'll be like, I'll just get in the car. I'll just get in the taxi because a lot of times I would call it. And I'll be like, there's a Kakao taxi and you can like call your taxis over. And then I was just like, oh, now I get in the taxi. And I'll just be like, oh, and then like confirm everything. And then I'd be like, oh, 잘 부탁드렸습니다. And he'd be like, yeah. And I put my headphones in. And I was like, I'll see you on the other side. So, okay, let's press play.
I'm married because at a certain age you have to be married. This is the culture.
Yeah.
And then I would ask them, I was like,
It's changing, of course.
그러면은
Everything
꿈이
changes over
뭐였어요?
time.
What was your dream? And then
Gimme.
suddenly the floodgates.
My Korean is terrible.
Suddenly they were like,
Oh yeah, this is what I was
had
just
a
talking
dream. I
about.
wanted to be on the national football team or the national baseball team, but I couldn't. Or soccer. I had to make a family. And you find that so many of them are just so discouraged because they couldn't make their dreams come true because they had to follow whatever.
That's how I
society
feel.
was
That's
telling
like one of my worries right
them.
now, especially since I turned
Suddenly the
33 this
conversation
year.
started changing. And it was just like, eventually I stopped asking because my heart couldn't take it.
Yeah,
It was so sad.
my
you
heart
know?
could not
So
take
many
it.
of them. So many of them like traveled the world. Like their resume.
Like a lot of them, like they had their lives before were like just this really crazy experiences.
And I think that's also changed the way I perceive.
And you never
things as
know
well.
what happens to people.
But
Yeah,
now
you never
I'll
know.
Just be like, oh, they were like, you're from America? I was like, yeah. They're like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I have a performance. My dream is to be on TV. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And they're just
Yeah, I
like,
do.
Oh, really? Good. You seem like a very nice
They'd be
person.
like,
I hope
yeah, they'll say something to me, and I'd be like, don't give them a chance to ask questions.
And those are the experiences I've been having
So
recently.
what plays have you been in here? You said you did like a sort of circuit, almost kids performances?
Ah, okay. I heard circus. That's not what you said.
Yeah, actually, when I was listening, I was like, did he say circus? That's funny.
So I
Nice to know I haven't
worked
changed.
with Arirang TV, which is a
Yeah, which I'll do a
television
reaction
station here.
video to that.
I did some global corresponding, so we kind of like investigative reporting kind of thing. So, but it was really cool because
I can speak
learned,
English, I promise.
Aerial yoga.
Oh, that was fun,
able
but
to
also
learn
like
Basabue,
I had to
which is
pretend
like
all the
equestrian traditional martial arts in Korean.
Basabue
in
was
Korea,
fun.
So I got to, you know, it's doing archery on horseback.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really love those things.
Yeah, I actually really do
was
like
also
active things,
studying
despite my
stunt.
size.
So I know stage combat, action,
Which is also another video.
action sequence choreography. We can go. I'm ready.
Cool. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Maybe.
Wow.
But I choreograph action sequences
Yeah.
as well. So my
It's
there's
true.
a group
Another
called The
video
Collective
I
that did the
do
stage show Romeo
do-
and Juliet.
Okay.
I choreographed all the action sequences.
Action
for that.
choreography.
There's Soul Players here, which is community theater, and they have a 10-minute play festival every year, annual. So one year I was in it and I choreographed
English.
action sequence for our show. We had pirates. It was called action sequence. And then
Yeah.
the following year there was Soledad.
Could have done better,
and
but-
that had like it was more like a torture sequence that was in there. So I choreographed that as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
And that was a lot.
Fun choreographing the torture sequence.
Soul Action School. It's in Paju, but it's one of the biggest stunt companies in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
So I went.
I miss them. I haven't seen them in 9 years, 8 years, 7 years.
Children's musical theater.
But I
not
still
just from
talk to
the
my
company I was
director.
with, but another
They're my
company as
teachers.
well. The company I was working for was Disney's World of English, and it's clientele. It's not open to the public.
Right.
Yeah, because the basis
This
of
is
it
a
an English
private
learning
party.
program. So the kids are learning English with Disney characters. And then when we go to perform, we're using the vocabulary and target language based on what they're learning in the product. Yeah. So
Oh,
I did
that's so
that for about
professional.
a
What a
year,
professional
and some change.
explanation.
And
But I'm not sure.
yeah, that's
Should I
about
look
it.
careful
Like
with
just hopping in and out when I can, doing what I can when I can.
It's true. I really did try to when I quit a job, I would try to do something that I was interested in, like doing entertainment things or like classes and stuff. And then once I ran out of money, I was like, I broke. I would go back to teaching again.
To chill out.
Chill out. There's a drink in Japan called
It's
chill
true.
out.
Oh, is it? Does it help? Does it work? Oh, good. Okay, that's exactly what it is. It's good, right? Not being
It's true.
tight about everything.
It's true.
I'm learning not to be complacent. I'm learning that
Trying.
that is very dangerous. Complacency.
You wake up
I'm
9 years later not doing
learning-
nothing.
And I think it's because I'm getting up in age.
Complacency
Not
is very
caring
dangerous.
about certain
Yeah,
things.
it's very
We were
interesting
talking
to
about
have
the
your priorities and
giving a
yeah.
higher priority to things that matter versus things that don't matter versus things that are very negative that don't that doesn't help anyone.
In the
And I
long run,
think
it doesn't
when
actually.
I see other people who are just kind of floating and like fighting with that, sometimes I just want to hug them and be like, yo,
Yeah, I want to hug too.
okay. It's okay. And sometimes you don't
Yeah,
feel like it's
sometimes you
okay.
need
You're like,
it.
what am I doing with my life? I woke up 7 years and I'm not in a movie with insert famous Korean singer here, a Korean actor here, and it's just like, what have I accomplished? What have
Can
I
get
done?
to you.
And it's very easy to do that, but knowing that it'll be okay, and how important
chill out.
community is. Community is so important. I probably wouldn't have been here today without my network of friends.
That's very true. My friends are amazing.
My network of friends,
My
very
network.
diverse.
Chingus.
And I think that's important too.
It's true, yeah. I have friends from like everywhere. It's very useful, very helpful. Keeps you grounded and humble.
To make very strong hold, essentially. And I realized that diversity is very effective and necessary.
Necessary.
I think those are the number one things. So just
Number
having
one
focus
things.
is very important as well. That's what I learned.
Having a focus is very important.
How
It's
important do you
because
think
you get
that
lost
is?
very easily without
So
it.
important. Go out. Get out.
What has travel done for you?
That face.
Travel
What's with
has
that face?
made me such
I really need to work on like my facial expressions. I make really ugly facial expressions.
But I was always, my head was always in the clouds.
Yeah, astronaut.
I've been happy this whole time. Travel has been
I'm such a loser.
in showing you a lot of times what you learned was wrong. And I think that's why everyone should travel, but at the same time, coming from the 80s and seeing all the young people traveling, I will say I am a little salty because we didn't have those
we didn't have
opportunities.
those. Yeah,
So
right.
I was just like, you should have
Not in
them.
my hood. You
have
don't
them.
travel,
Take advantage of
which
them.
keeps you ignorant. You have to move around.
So
You have to
I
learn
believe
about the world around
traveling is
you.
important in that it helps you unlearn and relearn.
But at the same time, you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn.
You should always be willing to unlearn.
So I
which
just
is
said.
number one. Information is
Wow.
always being updated.
I should listen first.
And you have to keep up to date with that information because otherwise you're spreading misinformation. And I think travel kind of helps you do that because then you know, oh, if I'm going to go, and this is simple. If I'm going to go to Japan and the trains used to work a different way, but now they work a new way. If I don't update my information, I'm going to be completely lost.
It's very important to update your
And what do
information
you do? If you go to another country, what
about
do
the
you start
world
doing? You
and
start
what you
researching.
know.
And then you start learning. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
it used to be this way, but it's this way. Oh, you used to be able to go this way, but you can't go this way. And you start to build. It actually starts changing the way you think. You know? And I think that's why
It does.
traveling is so important because otherwise you can end up in some really bad situations. And so then on top
Unnecessarily.
of that, it teaches you a lot of survival skills. Which
Yeah, right.
You know, and social
Researching
skills,
does teach
which is
you a
very
lot
important to
of
being
survival, and then traveling teaches you a lot of
part of
survival skills,
society.
social
part of
skills. I mean,
society.
Okay.
being
Like,
part
where
of
can people find you
society.
online?
Where can people find me online? Everywhere. You know, I've done so many.
I'm on YouTube now! Yay!
My YouTube channel will be available starting next year.
Oh, next year, 3 years later.
Okay, I thought I was speaking another language. I'm sorry. In Lunar New Year, we're doing pre-production.
I never know what
Ian
language
and
I'm
I,
speaking
and
in.
doing
It's true.
pre-production right now to talk about
Pre-production for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, I just turn the camera on and press the video.
I also work with the Ministry of Tourism.
That's how she does it.
So I go out with a lot.
But with COVID,
it's
it's been hard to work with the Ministry of Tourism these days. So
and stuff like that. So
I hope to do that again soon, but it's going to be probably not possible.
and then you can find me on Instagram, Chelci.
Chelci Chuu.
And you can also find me on
Brenda's
YouTube,
like-
same, Chelci Chuu. I'll try to keep it consistent. Apparently, a good business plan is to make sure everything is consistent. So I'll keep it as Chelci Chuu.
All right, nice. Thank you, Chelci.
Living life with
Guys,
Chelci
thank you so
Chuu.
much
Close
for
enough.
watching. If you would like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
Finish
And remember to
it.
subscribe to this
Thumbs
channel and
up.
hit the bell icon for weekly videos on the
Hit the bell icon. You can always go back to this video and watch again.
Bye for now.
Instagram, the Black XJP. Finishy. Paxi! Wow, that video is 30 minutes long. But thank you for sticking with me through the video. And of course, if you want to watch the video raw, you can always just find. I'll never forget what she said to me because I was black. Black in Korea, melanin files. Bob, bob. But anyway, yeah, I don't have a script or anything. I'm literally just talking off the top of my head. Overall, I really like this experience. I think for me, I felt a little like I had imposter syndrome. I didn't really have much to report. Like, so many other people are like, running businesses or architects or like really making waves in their host countries. And I'm just like, I want to do this. So I've dabbled in things, but I'm not like consistent in the things I want to do. So I almost like, oh, I don't know actually why he wanted to interview me. Like, why am I actually here? But I did it. And so, I mean, I'm kind of doing what I want for the meantime. And then I think over time I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can make more stuff about this or make more stuff about that. I do like playing games. I really love video games. So I may be like streaming one, from playing games. I love singing and dancing and experiencing things, especially when it comes to culture. I love learning new languages. I like watching drama. So I feel like and I love nanoplex. And I have a cat. Her name is Faye. She's really crazy, but it's fine. You know, she's just like me. And I was just like, so this is what my friends have to deal with. I'm sorry. But anyway, with that being said, I won't keep you guys any longer. I will see you again next time. Until then, don't give up. Believe in yourself. Fighting. Bye.